and girls-based non-governmental organization with support from Ford Foundation paid a visit to the Commission as part of its strategies to nip the increase in long-existing crime in the bud. Olugasa noted that the ICPC Act prohibits the use of office for sexual harassment, explaining that this remains an offence punishable before the law and abuse not only of the victim but of the office which the person manages. She expressed worry that many Nigerians are ignorant of some crimes and so take it as a norm, adding that sexual harassment offence has been watered down because society rather sees it as a way of appraisal when it actually can impede productivity. Similarly, Assistant Director, Public Enlightenment and Mass Mobilization Department, National Orientation Agency, Mrs. Esther Akko, says sexual harassment should be addressed by the Human Resource Department in organizations. She pointed out that speaking out is the major thing for victims to do, as it is in speaking out that they can get help, adding that agencies like the Labour Union have a part to play as stakeholders in curbing the menace. On our part, the Executive Director of Air Women Hub, Anuli Anubi Olani, said there were no existing data on workplace sexual harassment, unlike recent data on sexual and gender-based violence, which is also widely published. The General Authority for Civil Aviation in Saudi Arabia has extended the landing permits of Nigerian Hajj carriers from July 4th to July 6th. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Assistant Director, Public Affairs Division, Mrs. Fatima Usara, made this known in a statement today in Abuja. She explained that the extension was necessitated by excessive flight cancellations and flight delays. She said from June 10th to June 13th, 9 flights were cancelled. This, according to her, was due to reasons ranging from inability of some states' pilgrims board to secure basic travel allowance for pilgrims, insufficient funds for visa, and unvaluable PCR test results. She revealed that a total of 13 flights were cancelled with another 57 delayed takeoffs, 7 of which are in 2 digits, with the highest being 24 hours delay. She said that the chairman and chief executive officer of the commission, Zikrullah Hassan, commends Nigerian pilgrim resilience and praised that they all attain acceptable Hajj, whose reward is Jannatul Firdaus. Reports say that on June 26, NAOCON said that its request for more slots to enable more Nigerians to participate in this year's Hajj exercise was turned down by the authorities of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The Hajj body had requested for additional 5,000 slots to be distributed among state pilgrims welfare boards, subscribers through the Hajj savings scheme, as well as private tour operators. The National Examination Council, NECO, said it has not scheduled any examination for July 9th, contrary to insinuations in some quarters that its scheduled examination date on Eid al-Kabir Day. The council stated this in a statement by the Head Information and Public Relations Division, Mr. Aziz Sani, and made available to newsmen in Abuja today. He said that the council was conscious of the importance of religious festivals and had, as such, always made adequate provision for such in fixing examination dates. It could be recalled that the 2022 Senior School Certificate Examination for school-based candidates began on June 27th and will end on August 12th. Another sporting arena, the federal government and its Portuguese counterpart have entered into bilateral agreements in the areas of youth and sports development. These agreements are part of the benefits of the state visits by President Muhammadu Buhari to President Costa Rebelo de Sousa. Mohamed San Oba has details of this and other sports updates.
The Minister of Youth and Sport Development, Sunday Dari, signed the 2 Memorandum of Understanding on behalf of Nigeria. According to insiders, the first MOU will see Nigeria and Portugal engage in fruitful exchange programs and facilitate expertise transfer for sport development among other areas. Meanwhile, Sport Minister Sunday Dari has congratulated UFC champion Israel Adesanya on another successful title defense. Adesanya, earlier yesterday in Las Vegas, United States of America, defeated Jared Cannonier to retain his UFC middleweight crown with an unanimous decision victory. The minister said Nigerians were proud of Adesanya and another Nigerian UFC champion Kamaru Usman. In another development, Nigeria's men's national basketball team, the Tigers, booked their place in the second round of the 2023 FIBA World Cup qualifiers, having recorded a 20-point win over Mali, who failed to show up for their game. Nigeria crossed the threshold with the 8-point to join group leader Cape Verde and third place Uganda in the next round. Basketball Federation President Engineer Musa Kida thanked the team for their dedication and swift response to the call of duty. In another update, Denmark midfielder Christian Eriksen has agreed in principle to sign for Manchester United on a free transfer. The 30-year-old short-term contract at Brentford ended last month. Similarly, Manchester City have signed Leeds United midfielder Calvin Phillips for €45 million. The 26-year-old England international has signed a 6-year deal with Premier League champions. He is now Pep Guardiola's third summer signing after the arrivals of Alan Brut Haaland and Stephen Ortega Moreno. And on tennis, defending champion Novak Djokovic continued his pursuit of a 7th Wimbledon title as he reached the quarterfinals with a 4-set win over Dutch wildcard Tim van Rijshoven, bidding for a 4th successive triumph at the All England Club. The top seed won 6-2, 4-6, 6-1, 6-2 on center court and will make Jannik Sinner next. Muhammad Sanoba, Freedom Radio.
The global news is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com.
Freedom, 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 freedom.
Welcome back. You still listen to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The Kano State government said it will begin door-to-door mass drug administration for malaria prevention through the seasonal malaria chemo preventive platform tomorrow. The Commissioner of Health, Dr. Aminu Ibrahim Zanyawa, stated this at a news briefing today at the ministry. Correspondent Aisha Muhammad Edliman reports.
Dr. Aminu Zanyawa said the exercise will be conducted across the 44 local governments of the state, which will begin tomorrow and end in October. He said the intervention is to target 12 million children and elderly people, aimed at preventing their weak immune system.
The federal government, with support of our development partners, has spent over 3 billion naira for the purpose of the addition of 13,934,540 doses of some paraxin, parameterin, and ammonia tablets, a view to prevent malaria incidents among children under 5 years of age.
Dr. Aminu Zanyawa further said the World Health Organization has recommended the seasonal malaria chemo prevention in the states.
The government for the tremendous support it enjoys not only in the area of malaria but in all other health interventions, with a number of initiatives, projects, and programs, interventions being implemented in this sector.
Zanyawa also noted that insecticide mosquito nets will be distributed in October this year in order to aid the prevention of the disease. Aisha Muhammad Eleman, Freedom Radio.
And on business, we have Muhammad Abba Abdullahi with updates.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has urged banks to actively participate in its Agricultural Credit Guarantee Scheme Funds, ACGSF. The CBN Kano Branch Controller, Mr. Gino Babangida, made the call at the ACGSF's 2021 Best Farmer and Best Performing Financial Institution award ceremony held at the branch. According to him, the guarantee scheme was established and its original share capital and paid-up capital was 100 million naira. He noted that it was unfortunate that after deregulation of the financial system, banks started to shy away by reducing their loans to the agricultural sector due to the passive risk in its practice. Meanwhile, the number of Nigerians with accounts at regulated institutions such as a bank, credit union, microfinance institution, and post office increased by 16% to 45% in 2021. The World Bank stated this in its report entitled The Global Findex Database 2021. According to the bank, the global account ownership increased by 50% from 51% in 2011 to 76% in 2021. Nigeria's account ownership growth grew from 30% to 45% in period under review. Muhammad Abba Abdullahi, Freedom Radio.
For tomorrow's weather forecast in some cities in Nigeria and parts of Niger Republic, here's the report. We apologize for the technical difficulty. One of the foreign scene leaders of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, have lifted economic and financial sanctions imposed in Mali after its military rulers proposed a 24-month transition to democracy and published a new electoral law. Nasir Sadis Zongo reports.
The bloc imposed stiff sanctions on Mali in January after the military government said it will not organize democratic elections the following month as initially planned. ECOWAS Commission President Jean-Claude Cassibro, the sanction will be lifted immediately. Borders with Mali will reopen and regional diplomats will return to Bamako. Cassibro said, however, the head of state decided to maintain individual sanctions and the suspension of Mali from ECOWAS until the return to constitutional rule. The individual sanctions targeted members of the ruling military government and the transitional council. Sanctions have crippled Mali's economy, raising humanitarian concerns amid widespread suffering. The country has defaulted on more than 300 million of its debt due to the sanctions, which cut it off from the regional financial market and the region. In Mali, former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan visited the country last week. A member of his entourage told newsmen that Mali had made enormous progress. Mali's top diplomat Abdoulaye Diop on Friday said the recent political developments were moving the country towards a lifting of the sanctions. Nasir Salis Zango, Freedom Global News.
And with this, we've come to the end of today's global news. But before we go, highlights of the major stories. The Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, ICPC, has called for the review and update of laws that prohibit sexual harassment at workplaces, saying that the menace has persisted because perpetrators escape justice over. The General Authority for Civil Aviation in Saudi Arabia has extended landing permits of Nigerian Hajj carriers from July 4th to July 6th. The Kano State government said it will begin door-to-door mass drug administration for malaria prevention through the seasonal malaria chemo preventive platform tomorrow. And on the foreign scene, leaders of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, have lifted economic and financial sanctions imposed on Mali after its military rulers proposed a 24-month transition to democracy